Security guard Kenneth Love was shot and killed early in July. If you support this content, press like. Watch for the end. I'm going to give advice on crowd control. I'm using StreamYard, guys, so please bear with me. I'm not used to using this type of program. But there's some investment in equipment. Again, wait towards the end so you guys can hear some tips on crowd control.
Describes him as a hard worker with a heart for people. She says he worked at the M&M Food Express gas station on Cooper Road for more than 10 years, adding it brought excitement to his day to ride his bike to and from work. She recalls him leaving the house to head to work just like any other day, not knowing that was the last time she would see her husband. 60-year-old Roy Love was shot and killed by 3 teens Monday morning around 1:30 after stealing Love's gun. Katina Love became emotional as she described the moment police arrived at her home to inform her that her husband had been murdered.
All right, guys, let's look at the facts right away. Number one, he was 60. Number two, he was working that post 10 years, so he's mastered that area. Number three, he's because he worked there for 10 years, he should be known by the community already, or he should have an understanding of the kind of people that are coming around there. Number four, this was a gas station / store. Number five, this happened at 1:30 in the morning on Monday. Number six, there was 3 teens. Number 7, they took his gun. Number 8, he didn't pull out his gun from his holster. Those are the facts we got so far. I'm going to show the sadness of his wife, because I think it's important you guys understand that, you know, this is a security guard. He's a real person. This is just not another story. You need to be sympathetic to this situation so you can learn from what happened, right? So my condolences to the Love family. I want to do my best to always humanize the fallen security guards, you know, because we are using their image and we're trying to learn what could we do better if we were to be put in those situations. And of course, we're talking about hypotheticals here, but at the same time, you know, the more you hear about these stories, the better you can react under certain circumstances that are similar to ones like the one Love was facing. Anyways, let's continue.
To know somebody was just taken from you, that's a whole different kind of pain and hurt. But you know, I know we'll get through it, but it's just a hard thing. It's something I wouldn't wish on no one to have to face that and have to deal with that, just with that whole. Like I said, I'm still see myself going to the door looking for him. You know, his dog. They still looking for him. It's just you know, something that you never would have thought would have happened.
17-year-old Trent Wooten, 17-year-old Zaylon Norton, and 16-year-old Kadarius Cohen have been.
All right, guys, these are the young men who committed the crime. When I studied criminal justice, they taught us, you know, with the books. There was Introduction to Criminology, I think it was. They told us that the most dangerous people out there are from the ages of 13 to like 24, 25. And it tends to be young men. It doesn't really matter the race. You know, the testosterone, you can say, you know, which is our superpowers as male, is also like, if we don't learn how to channel our power, we make a lot of mistakes. And then we want to prove ourselves. We think that we're superheroes. On some level, we think that we are. We think we're immortal, that we can do a 10-year bid and we can take down an entire army, you know, with just our bare hands. It's just stuff that kids think, you know, it's just the way it is.
It's very disgusting to me that this happened.
Police Chief Joseph Wade says surveillance video captured the moment 3 teenagers allegedly shot and killed an armed security guard overnight outside a South Jackson convenience store.
Man, it's a real tragedy, man. A real friendly guy. Everybody knew him. Customers knew him. He make everybody laugh.
2 17-year-olds and a 16-year-old.
Yo, you don't last 10 years in one single post without knowing the community or the community knowing you. Like it's almost impossible. And you're gonna build rapport. I think it's important to keep your guards in the same post for you know, for a certain period of time, but we also have to rotate them around. Now, I don't know if Mr. Love worked exclusively in this spot and he was an in-house guard, or he was working for an agency. I'm not sure. I only have access to what the news tells me. So eventually in the future, if this channel blows up, I can have access to CCTV footage and, you know, document, like ask for the Freedom of Information Act or whatever the cops have, I can get eventually. And then we can, that's future stuff. But we won't get there unless you guys press like. Just giving you guys a heads up. Let's continue with this, and then we're going to get into crowd control.
Girl denied bond after an initial court appearance. They've all been charged with capital murder in the death of 60-year-old Roy Love. Investigators say the deadly shooting happened early Monday morning at M&M Food Mart on Cooper Road. They say Love approached 3 young men in the parking lot of the business and told them to leave.
They subsequently attacked him. They took his weapon and they fired upon him with their weapon.
Love was gunned down just days after the Jackson City Council approved a new ordinance requiring businesses with crime problems to hire armed security guards.
We have to make sure that the security guards have been.
Now, I think that part is very important that we got to talk about. So that Jacksonville created an ordinance where they mandated these type of businesses need to have armed security. Now, we don't know what type of training Mr. Love received, or anything like that. But it's something the chief just said. We got to make sure that these guards are well trained. There's possibilities of heightened criminal activities because the town just put an ordinance out. This is not a regular post anymore. So if a regular post or threat level would be a 2 or a 3 for you, it should be when there's an ordinance out like that, it should be a 4 or a 5. I don't know how you judge your threat levels, where you are in your post, but I'm just trying to get you to understand the levels increase depending on the information you're provided, depending on what you see and what you hear.
Trained properly, that it's a reputable company and not just somebody that has a gun. And I'm not just saying that that's the case in this situation. I don't know what that gentleman's background was.
According to Chief Wade, Love never drew his weapon before he was attacked. Reporting from Jackson, Ross Adams, 16 WAPT News.
All right, guys. So crowd control. We have to understand this, and I have a little whiteboard here. I'm gonna do my best to show it to you. All right. So crowd control, power scaling. Just keep this in mind. I don't know how well I can show this to you guys. Probably gonna get a wrong image. So 1 versus 1 is a neutral, right? That's one person fighting another person, trying to convince them of something. It's 0. It's a difficult fight. 1v1 is difficult, guys. Keep that in mind. And I'm sorry I'm switching off. I don't really know where to look at the moment, just because I got the camera's here, but my screen is here. So I apologize, guys. I'm still learning this habit I need to build up. All right. So 1 versus 1, it's already a hard fight, guys. Keep that in mind. Unless you have T, which is training and gear. Right, that's a positive, whatever you want to do. So 1 with a positive on top versus 1, you are the greater threat, or should be. This is all theoretical, guys. It's all theoretical, right? But I want you guys to understand a little bit about crowd control, right? Now, you have 1 train, right? 1+ versus 1+. It goes back to being 0. It's a difficult fight. It's going to be a difficult fight, guys. Now you have, let's see, you got 1, this is the guard, versus 1 that's trained, a thug or whatever, right? Plus an accomplice, plus another accomplice. You are overwhelmed and outnumbered. Guys, how are you going to manage crowd control as an individual security in an open post the way Mr. Love was in? Now, there's a lot of different techniques. I'm going to give you one of them. I'm going to give you a few ideas, right? One of your greatest tools you have, besides your mind, is this thing right here, a flashlight. You catch the attention of the people. You can maneuver or warn people around. You can stop them and warn them and signal for help and signal for people to come towards you. This flashlight is not just a combative tool, it is an attention getter. Now, take what I say with a grain of salt, right? As far as trespassing, because this was a trespassing situation, right? And crowd control, it's easier depending on how tall you are, certain ages, your build, the type of equipment you have. Mr. Love was 60, right? He's facing off 3 young men who have, who think that they can take over the world together. Mr. Love is outgunned because there's more people, and at the same time, he's also fighting youth. Yo, the power of youth is crazy. You can see 15-year-olds knock out 50-year-old men with just them having a little bit of athletic, and with a 50-year-old not working out anymore. Like, this type of things is real. It happens, right? I've seen it a lot in the martial arts world. So, taking off my kids' headphones, let's talk about this. All right. So, number one, you want to observe the surrounding area, however you can. Use the CCTVs, right, to see where you're gonna trespass people, right, to see what's going on. Maybe they're doing quick movements. There's a quick sale and they leave, or maybe they're there loitering. You can take the time, like, all right, policy says if somebody's been here for about 15 minutes, then I gotta trespass them out of here, right? You gotta use all the senses you have, guys. You gotta see, you gotta hear, you gotta, whatever you have available to you. You can't touch or taste. That's just ridiculous stuff right there. Let's continue anyways. You also want to count how many people are around, right? You all want to observe their actions. Like I said, maybe they're doing a quick deal and they're gonna leave, or they're staying. From afar, you want to tell them, like, hey, you want to catch their eyes. You bring out the flashlight, big mama, like, yo, and you want to know the modes, obviously. You tell them, like, hey guys, it's dangerous at this time. There's an ordinance right now. A lot of weird people come by here, and I want you guys to stay safe. If you're not buying nothing, just get out of here right away, because it's not safe around here. You make it about their personal safety, and now you're looking out for them. You got to learn a little bit. You got to be a little bit of a wordsmith, but that's part of the job, right? And while you're doing this, you want to keep your distance. That's why you have the flashlight. You get their attention with the flashlight. If you can, you speak to them from the threshold. The threshold, for those that don't know what it is the doorway of the building, especially if they're outside. So you can use that as cover if you have to. Sometimes you have to lock people out so they don't come barging in. And then also, when it comes to observing your surrounding areas, you want to know where you can cover. Like, where can you protect yourself? And the whole thing about distance is, in martial arts, we learn that distance defeats the weapon. And that's because if you're too far, they can't stab you. If you're too far, they can't grab you. If you're too far, it's hard for them to aim. I could aim up to 25 feet personally with accuracy. Now, I train every once in a while. What about the people outside that don't train? They can't really shoot well above like after 5 or 10 feet. So if you're facing off people that might have a firearm, the chances of them having really good precision, and you're like 50 feet away from them, greatly decreases, right? So you're increasing your odds of survival. So you have to think about these type of things, and then going back to the whole counting the people that are around you, 1-on-1 is a hard enough fight already. 3 against 1, that's too many. I would just call the cops. Let them know from afar, like, hey guys, it's a dangerous area right now. It's 1:30 in the morning. If you guys finish your business, get out of here, because it's dangerous. I don't want you to get hurt. That's it. You gave them the one shot, please, and please leave. And that's it. They're still there 5 minutes later, or they're looking like they're walking towards you. Lock up the doors. With whatever mechanism you have. That's where you have to master your locks and gates and stuff, and call 911. I'm not saying that this is what Love should have done, or it's his fault for what happened. I'm not saying any of that, so please understand. I'm just giving advice to security, just in case you ever find yourself in a similar situation. My condolences again to the Love family. As a security guard, content creator, we have to take in consideration these situations and do our best to pass on the information, because we want to avoid anything happening to us when we're on duty. So as soon as that, guys, if you found value in this video, press like, leave a comment down below saying thank you and gracias, and subscribe if you haven't. We're like 200 subs away from getting 1,000. And then, I bought some equipment. I'm using StreamYard, laptop, brand new camera, brand new mic, which I'm still figuring out how to use it. Soundboard, what I'm talking about. So I'll see you later, guys. Ciao, lo quiero mucho. Peace.